Welcome back to Never Enough Novels. I have received a ton of amazing book mail lately, so I wanted to share a few of those with you today. These are going to be the books on my December TBR. I've already started to read one or two and am loving them so far. I'll put the links to everything down below so you can grab any that you're interested in and help support this channel. Also, make sure you hit like on this video and subscribe to see more of these book hauls and book recommendations in the future. I'm kicking this off with a book that I already started reading because I just couldn't help myself, and it's called Is She Really Going Out with Him by Sophie Cousins. I've been a long-time fan of Sophie's work, so every time she has a new book out, I'm always really excited to read it. But honestly, this one may be my favorite of hers so far. It is about a columnist who is also, she's recently divorced and she has two kids, and there's some changes going on at her workplace, and there is a new guy who is kind of threatening to take over her column. He's definitely challenging her and she's being forced to come up with some new ideas. So she pitches this idea where her kids will find men in real life for her to date. So instead of kind of looking at the online dating world, she wants to find people in real life that they've met. So her kids will decide who she has to go on dates with. That obviously leads to some very entertaining situations. And at the same time, she's kind of in this love-hate relationship with this new guy at work who keeps getting under her skin in all of the worst and best of ways. So I love that this one so far has kind of that workplace plus enemies to lovers vibe. And it has literally been laugh out loud funny. I've been reading it every night before bed, and I'm laughing out loud to myself while I'm in bed. She's also done this really clever and entertaining thing at the beginning of each chapter where she shows what the main character Anna is Googling recently. So anyone can relate to these Google searches. I mean, they're everything from Paul Hollywood needing dough to searching for the answers to life's biggest problems on Google. There is just so much to love about this book. I know I'm going to give it 5 stars. I'm kind of savoring it at this point because I don't want it to end. But again, I highly recommend getting Is She Really Going Out with Him by Sophie Cousins. Next up is another book that I've already started because I was really excited about this one. It's called Under Lock and Key by Elena Ferguson. So I have read everything that she's written so far. It's a few contemporary romances. She had one more paranormal romance with werewolves, and this one involves the Loch Ness Monster. So this is kind of a monster romance book, and it's set in Scotland. It's about a woman who travels to Scotland to kind of reconnect with her family there. She's an unexpected surprise, and there's definitely a rift between her and her grandparents, but she decides to stay and kind of search for a connection to her father. And while there, she meets the man who is kind of helping out on her grandparents' farm, and he has some secrets of his own, and they definitely do not hit it off at first, but kind of things start to change between them as they get to know each other and spend more time together. And she ends up helping him with this big secret that he has been hiding and kind of searching for the connection between both of their families' histories and what happened all these decades or centuries ago that affecting his life now. Lena definitely doesn't shy away from the steam, so these books get very spicy, but they are incredibly entertaining and sometimes in a little bit unusual ways. But I absolutely love this one, so this is going to be another one that I recommend from her. Another author that I absolutely adore is Sarah Adams, and I was so excited to find her latest novel in my mailbox. A huge thanks to Dell for sending this my way. She is the queen of sweet and witty small town romances, so this looks like another amazing one from her. It's also set in the town of Rome, Kentucky, which her previous few were also set in the same town, so I think we might see an appearance from maybe a couple of previous characters. But in this one, our main character is Emily, and she is not excited to find that her old nemesis Jack is back in town, and they are two second-grade teachers who are feuding and also find themselves as neighbors in this rivals to lovers romance. So basically Emily has been trying to sabotage Jack's return to town and ends up sending an email that reveals a secret about Jack. So he's just the man who can kind of help her out, and they end up teaming up in this surprising alliance. This just sounds like another really fun romance from her. She could write absolutely anything, and I would probably read it and love it, so I always look forward to her next novels. Another go-to author for me is Tessa Bailey, so I was absolutely delighted to receive the 3rd book in her sports romance series. Thank you to Avon for sending this one my way. This is called Dream Girl Drama, and it stars another hockey player. The first book in her series was Fangirl Down. That was about a golfer, which I absolutely loved because it was really unique to find a golf romance in this world of sports romances. Then the second one was The the Au Pair Affair, and that got us into a hockey romance. So now we've got a teammate of the main character from the Au Pair Affair. And this one is Sig, and he and Chloe find out that they are step siblings after a moonlight kiss one night. So they are absolutely surprised by the fact that their parents are getting together. So this kind of attraction that they have between each other is now like a weird forbidden romance. So they decide they will keep things strictly friendship and platonic, despite the sparks that are definitely still there. So since Chloe is trying to kind of get out from underneath her controlling mother, Sig agrees to just like teach her the ins and outs of Boston, how to be a little bit more independent, and they both, absolutely agree to keep it as a friendship. But things don't always go that way in our romance novels, so they kind of can't help but give in to the attraction between them. I have adored the previous 2 books in the series, so I am really excited to see where she goes with this one, especially because both of these characters had kind of made small appearances in the previous books. So I'm already invested in their relationship, whatever that looks like. So this is another one that I cannot wait to get into. And the last book I'm going to share today is The Lodge by Kayla Olson. So again, a thank you to, this one's from Atria for sending this my way. I like that this is wintry related, but not specifically Christmas. So this could be, it goes on sale in January. This would be a perfect book for that time of year when you're kind of ready to be done with the holiday romances, but still want something that's like cozy and wintry. So this one involves a ghost writer who is assigned to write the memoir of a former member of like this huge boy band, True North, and he lets her stay in his penthouse at like a resort in Vermont. So she's kind of looking forward to getting away for a bit to start working on this new assignment. But she was one of the last people to interview the former frontman of this band before he disappeared. So there's a little bit of a mystery here with like what happened to the member of the band, and now she's writing this memoir for like a different member. So as she's spending time at this resort, there's also like a handsome ski instructor, so she starts to like fall in love, but she's also finding out more and more about like what happened to this member of the band who disappeared. So I think we've got a little bit of romance and like a lot of celebrity gossip and a little bit of a mystery here as well. This sounds like just a really interesting option for kind of the January, February timeframe. Again, like I said, when you're looking for like a cozy romance / mystery that still takes place in a wintry setting. As you can see, there's tons of new books coming out soon that I am so excited to read. Stay tuned for my mini reviews, so I will share what I think of all of these.